Hot damn. Hey kids. Welcome to yet another episode of Stupid Battle Tricks. I'm your host, Drink Jimmy. And today's attractive little device will be played with my trusty piece of shit Les Paul thing. My dungeon guitar. And this thing, which I'm calling the double hit Deux. Heavy on the der, of course, because it's for me. Now, this thing, I'll talk about it for a minute. This thing kind of started life as a kit that's actually still available on the internet called the Double Fuzz Kit. And basically it's a real basic shitty kind of fuzz. Extra shitty in some ways, especially stock. But it was just something to do, something to build. I built a few of them for friends and stuff and muddled around with them different ways. This one I decided to try, instead of dealing with a charge pump, because I hate charge pumps. What I did was I decided to try and run it off a 9-volt battery, even though it's supposed to be a 18-volt circuit, two 9-volt batteries in series, with a virtual ground in the middle, apparently. Well, in this particular case, because I'm using weird chips and all that kind of stuff, check out the CA3140EZ. It'll run down to just about, you could probably run it on a freaking a watch battery, I bet. But anyways, it's hooked up totally weird. There's a voltage divide. Nothing makes sense, so I'm not going to put nothing up until somebody can help me figure this out. I've been molesting this circuit for days. I mean, freaking days. And I had some help and some advice from a couple of guys from Aaron's Stopbox Forum, including the legendary DIY Jack Orman. So, hey, Jack, if you see this, peace, bro. And no matter what I tried to do, I could not get a decent fuzz tone out of this freaking thing to save my fucking life. So, we set about to try and, change some things. And in the end, I changed the transistor to a slightly higher gain transistor. We changed the setup of the first stage from the stock, almost like shitty electro distortion, part of a electro distortion anyway. And I put in the first stage of a Big Muff Pi with the original violet ram's head values on that. I changed the B plus supply up top to that transistor a little bit too. I starved it a little more to get a little more gain out of it. Played with the input caps. Messed with the clipper sub. The clipper's actually one side. It's a full wave rectifier, I think you call it. But in this case, I mismatched it intentionally. I played with a bunch of different diodes till I found what I liked. It's 3 1N 34A germanium diodes with the cathode pointing toward the voltage. And on the other side, it's a 1N34A diode feeding a pink LED, which gives it a nice, weird kind of compression. Now, the two chips that I ended up using, this thing was originally set up for like a 741, or actually two of them. So I've seen this thing set up with like a dual op amp too. Since I'm working with the original board that was in here, shit, I wonder if I still got another one. Yeah, I do. Check it out. This is what that was. The Gray Mark International Double Fuzz Kit. What I ended up using was I used the chip I just mentioned, the LT. What the hell was it? I had to look it up. Oh, excuse me, CA3140EZ in the first. Well, actually, it's the second stage, but like the first IC stage and the second IC stage, just because I had some kicking around. I tried a bunch of different op amps and found that I really liked the sound of the LM301. So I put one of those in, one of the old ones with a metal can. I got a bunch of them kicking around on my bench at the moment somewhere, buried under stuff, because I've been like working on multiple projects again. It's a hoarder's delight right here, man. There's so much electronic crap everywhere. But anyways, enough of my babbling. Les Paul, Princeton. Little reverb, amps barely on. Let's turn this thing on and see what it does. We'll put it in fuzz mode first and turn the volume off. There is a master volume, but it's pretty much pointless. This is about where I got the fuzz. Gonna cut the bass. Not too bad, right? It took a long time to get rid of the really unnatural gating effect that it had on the high E string here. Turns out, of course, the big muff values don't work well. I'm thinking about the circuit, and I'm like, well, I'm already starving it to half the voltage it's supposed to have because I'm running it on 9 volts instead of 18. So I adjusted the resistor values downward a bit and played with them. It was pretty funny to see. I just kind of solder a whole bunch of like wires all together while I'm going, you know. Because if I let the magic smoke out, you know me, I don't really care. Because there's always more magic smoke to be had in Pig's Dungeon. Because I'm always letting the magic smoke out of things, including myself. Anyways, so I adjusted them downward. I think I ended up settling on 33K for like the bottom side, like toward ground, the voltage divider. And the top wanted 180. It wanted exactly, really, 187.5 ohms to really bias the transistor right. It's a 2N4401. I think I ended up using in this. I tried a bunch of other ones, including germanium. That actually ended up having the best tone out of all of them. I did not check the voltages. I'll have to do that, and I'll put those on Aaron's forum under the rest of the thread about this thing. But it actually rings out relatively well, which is what I was looking to try and get, because before it was just like really gated. But I ended up losing a bit of distortion at it. Now there's a level for the fuzz, and there's a level for the octave, and there's a volume, and a sustain. The sustain, you have to keep it full blast for the fuzz to work. Conversely, for the echo to work, the sustain has to be completely the opposite way. So what I did was I used one of you got 3 foot switches basically in one in each of these, and I used one of the pieces of the foot switch to literally just short this thing together so that it was off on one side so that the octave part would be happy. Also messed with the gain of the second op amp and the feedback loop. I changed the feedback resistor from 10K to a 100K trimmer. So at 100K, this thing you can easily get all the octave you would ever want out of it. But it's going to take a little more exploration still before I'm totally happy with it to get it where I want it. But I'm going to turn the thing on and quit babbling. Here's the octave side. Well, here's the fuzz side first. It was hard to get any kind of sustain out of the treble E string. There's like a bit of a gate. But it seems to be working like relatively well now. You can turn it down for spice. If you turn it way down. Bump the box. Turn the bass down a little. Turn the treble down. The bass is down, so it's like. And you can make it glitch sometimes. Particularly if the tone control is all the way down. Nice woman tone. What do you say? Should we put it on the octave side, you think? Curiouser and curiouser. Check it out. The fuzz, of course, because I grew up in the 60s and did, like, hung out with, like, Spock at Berkeley, if you ever seen the Star Trek movies. As you see right now, there's a bloody little bit of a green light right there. So we're going to click the button, and now it turns blue. What does blue do? Well, let's check it out. Uh-oh. Hang on. I got a glitchy pot. I think I might have something in there shorting it. My bad. Oh, it's just fucking up on me. Perfect. You hear that weird envelope thing? Kazoo tone. Boy, that was sloppy. This battery might be completely dead inside the thing too. Let's try plugging it in here. Unfortunately, that's about the best I can get the octave sounding at this point. without making the fuzz totally sound like poo. But it's got this weird envelopey thing where it goes and it cracks and it breaks up and does unexpected weird shit. I like that. That's what the fucking octave side on. That's not a bad rhythm tone. What's this doing here? Well, it's here for a reason, because it makes this thing work even better if you put a fuzz in front of it. Anyways, and with the fuzz on, it's not bad either. just turned the bass control on my guitar down just a little bit. That's what made it do that weird sound. It kind of fades away. Oh. Like I said, you gotta have the sustain control all the way up. I'm gonna have to put a starve control thing on this, man, because the more this battery in here dies, the cooler it sounds. Dying batteries. Gotta love them. Anyways, this is still a work in progress. This is the double hit Deux. I imagine it's going to be much uglier by the time it's done. It's already ugly inside. There's shit going point to point from point to point. But it sounds way better than it did when the kit that it was designed as was designed. It's a very, very weird circuit, but it does some really, really cool shit if you put a fuzz in front of it. In this case, one of these totally crappy Duncan, oh my god, Dunlop mini fuzz faces. This isn't bad as a little mini fuzz face goes, I guess. I'm going to probably gut the thing and put a real one in there on the to-do list if it doesn't end up getting sold to somebody or something. But anyways, yeah, so you got the pink light off and on. Yeah, I got to put a pull-down resistor on there. Then you got the green light for fuzz and the blue light for the octave. Throw it down there. Trusty Les Paul thingy. Oh, get this thing off. Ugh, it's like a job almost. Put this up here. Wow. You can read my palm. Far out, huh? Well, anyways, I'm your host, Pink Jimi, once again. Thanks for watching this Drecky Bologna. I see it's a little over 35 minutes. I've been wanking you around now. I want to thank you for watching. Hopefully all is good in your part of the world. And if it's not, do something to make it so. Peace and much love to y'all. See you next time.